Former South African President Jacob Zuma has declared that the BRICS bloc was born as a rebellion against financial colonialism and a challenge to Western dominance in global economics. Speaking at the University of Professional Studies in Accra, Ghana, during the institution's annual leadership lecture, Zuma framed the rise of BRICS as a bold stand against what he called the dollar empire. The lecture carried the theme the geopolitics and geoeconomics of de-dollarization, BRICS currency strategy lessons for Africa's common currency, and beyond. Zuma's remarks came against the backdrop of recent tensions between the United States and BRICS nations, following US President Donald Trump's threat in July to impose extra tariffs on countries aligned with the grouping, and said BRICS was not created as a debating society, it was a rebellion against financial colonialism, an assertion that the global south must chart its own path in the world economy. It is not just an alliance, it is a revolution against the dollar empire. Zuma, who now leads the opposition Umkhonto weSizwe Party, reminded his audience that South Africa's entry into BRICS in 2010 was not symbolic. Instead, he said the country joined as continental anchor linking Africa's vast resource world to the bloc's global aspirations, is that we entered BRICS as the bridge that will connect the continent to the new global experiment. This mattered because Africa holds the resources the world cannot live without. Cobalt from the DRC that powers electric vehicles and phones, platinum from South Africa that drives the automotive industry, cocoa from West Africa that sweetens the world, and oil and gas from Nigeria and Angola that fuel economies. He also highlighted Africa's rich gold deposits, particularly in Ghana, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, describing them as a central piece of global economic puzzle. Turning to the future of finance, Zuma argued that the digital age offers Africa an opportunity to escape Western financial control, and said we live in an age of digital revolution. New technologies allow us to build financial systems that cannot be controlled from Washington or Brussels. Blockchain platforms, central bank digital currencies, and regional clearing houses are already being tested. He noted that several African banks are experimenting with cross-border payments in local currencies, which he believes signals the possibility of a truly independent continental system, and said SWIFT serves as a colonial stifling mechanism. If they can sanction our banks, we must build our own. If they can switch off SWIFT, we must switch on Africa. Zuma's address underscored his long-standing view that the global financial order remains tilted against Africa and the global south. By embracing BRICS and leveraging new technologies, he argued African nations can move from the periphery of the global economy to a position of strength and influence. The former president has also described the Umkhonto weSizwe Party as the only true hope for the last stage of the total liberation of South African people and a genuine continuation of the liberation struggle. Jacob Zuma positioned the Umkhonto weSizwe Party as the beacon for achieving full economic and social freedom in South Africa. Zuma outlined how the Umkhonto weSizwe Party's manifesto addresses key pillars such as reclaiming land and mineral resources, empowering people through economic control, advancing human capital and technology, ensuring safety and security, and asserting South Africa's sovereignty on the global stage. And so together, these pillars embody the uncompromising vision of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party as the only true hope for the last stage of the total liberation of South African people, a liberation not just from apartheid's political chains, but from economic captivity, poverty, unemployment, and neo-colonial domination that continue to struggle our nation. He contrasted this with the newly formed Government of National Unity, labeling it as a compromised arrangement that dilutes the revolutionary spirit, while the Umkhonto weSizwe Party upholds the legacy of South Africa's forebears for complete freedom, dignity, and prosperity. He warned against dancing to foreign drums, advocating for self-reliance and unity to beat our own drum. This message resonated amid ongoing global economic shifts, where de-dollarization and BRICS invite initiatives offer Africa alternatives to Western dominated systems. Zuma also highlighted the deepening bilateral relationship between South Africa and Ghana, noting over 20 agreements in trade, defense, agriculture, and ICT, including a recent visa waiver for ordinary passport holders since 2019. Cooperation has elevated to a presidential-level binational commission, fostering accountability and progress, and that these agreements matter not just on paper, but in action, driving economic integration, tech exchange, cultural bonds, and stronger people-to-people links. He commended Ghana's support for Morocco's autonomy plan in the Western Sahara dispute, viewing it as a stand against separatist agendas that divide Africa for foreign benefit, and said some may disagree, but I say Africa must not be divided for the convenience of outsiders. The era of balkanizing Africa to serve foreign agendas is over. By prioritizing stability and integration, Ghana has once again placed itself at the forefront of Pan-African leadership. Gedleyihlekisa sharply criticized Western powers for building their strength on Africa's exploitation, urging the continent to break free, and that the West built its power by chaining Africa. The new generation of Africans must build our power by breaking those chains. He advocated shifting from producing employees for foreign firms to nurturing investors, thinkers, and builders of African-led systems, that Africa must produce not just employees for foreign corporations, but investors, thinkers, and builders of African systems. We must move away from classroom to the policy room, from the laboratory to the marketplace, from the lecturer hall to the halls of power. However, his speech has sparked varied response on social media and from political circles. Supporters praised Zuma's unapologetic Pan-Africanism, with post on X highlighting his vision for Umkhonto weSizwe Party as a revolutionary force. One said Zuma in Ghana dropping truth bombs on liberation and de-dollarization. MK is the way forward. However, critics accused him of hypocrisy, pointing to his past controversies and the MK party's internal challenges.
We were old colleagues from former times, and it seems we are back together like a club of retired presidents. I think last year decided to look at this topical issue, the BRICS, that is the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. That this particular bloc is emerging, and we are trying to see what will bring on board when it comes to stability of the African economy. And scanning through various years.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.